Hey y'all, I'm back. I wanted to make another video today because um the situation for me is looking kind of dire. I know that life could be worse. There's a lot of people in worse situations than I am, and there's no reason for me to simply complain about what I'm going through. Sitting here smoking a cigarette, whatever. But right, let's get into the details of it. I live in the back of a car right now, and I'm okay with that. Actually, I'm actually okay with that. This was a decision that I made to get out of some toxic relationships, very toxic relationships in my life, and and also I had been running away from my mental health issues for a long time, and now I can see things a little bit clearly, a little bit differently than before. However, in this process, I've noticed a lot of shortcomings from our society. Uh, uh, you know, for example, where am I supposed to park discreetly? And 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 so far, I have been finding places, but still, this is not a thing for people. You don't just go on the internet and look for places where you can park your car and sleep at night, or places where you can go and pay a reasonable price to take a shower. None of these things exist, even though that these are our needs. So meanwhile, big companies are wondering why are we struggling to meet their demands. Well, you you're not feeding us. You're not feeding us properly, and I have to say, I'm over it. I'm over the hunger. I'm over the feeling of inadequacy in a system where I've fought tooth and nail every single day to survive and get by, and put something in my stomach, things of that nature. Yeah, it's sure, it'd be a lot harder for me to save money and do the things that I do if I lived in a place where I have to pay rent, $1,000 a month for rent. That's on average, and a lot of us are barely clearing that per month. Regardless, $2,000 might just be enough, just barely. But what about the other bills? We have car insurance, car payments if you have one, phone bills, and navigating all of these things, and navigating what's important to you, and what's the most necessary is the biggest challenge of all. It's like, how are you supposed to know if you're getting the best price on your phone bill? How are you supposed to know if there's another place out there that's got a cheaper rent? Or how are you supposed to know if you're paying all this money for your car insurance? Well, you might say, well, what about all these ads that I see that advertise that we're paying too much for this stuff? Well, at the end of the day, they're just taking advantage of the fact that you're in need. Now, I'm sick and tired of people taking advantage of us in a time of need, all the time, dude. Like, how are you even able to profit off of somebody that has nothing? And and you mean to tell me that you're building a better place for everybody? No, no, no. You want to know why people aren't having kids? Because in particular, the place where I live in America, in the Midwest, I mean, already you can see this shit is messed up. Everything is messed up. Why would anybody want to bring a child into the world without having the resources, without knowing whether or not the resources are going to be made available? Sure, just say what you want to. Just say what you want to. But at the end of the day, I just have to say that as much as they try to take advantage of me, I really try to fight against that shit. I prefer not to be taken advantage of, and just disposed of when the usefulness runs out. Um, when I decide that I've had enough of you treating me the way that you do, making me feel like I'm not worth anything, even though you sit there and you generate millions of dollars for companies, and they ignore it, like, oh, that's nothing. We're paying you. We're paying you a fraction of what we are raking in every single year. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then you don't have to. Okay, So I'm giving up. I'm going back to that same old cycle, that same old routine, knowing that there's nothing I can do to beat the system. Not that I really intend to beat the system. Like, all I'm saying is that if your system, if you would take the advice of the people that are literally turning the gears of your corporation, you would take their advice, maybe treat them a little better, that just maybe your company, your business would outperform. But no, instead you want to keep on holding on to these stupid ideologies that don't help your company in any form or fashion. Your company could potentially make more money each year. That does, not only that, but you don't even have to you don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to make any less money. All you have to do is treat the people that work for you with a lot more respect than you do, and the customers as well. You treating your workers and your customers like shit is getting you nowhere. You think, oh, they'll just keep on coming back. We got them hooked. We got them addicted to this stuff. These fucking cheeseburgers and shit. We got them hooked, man. These cigarettes got them hooked. You're what? I just excuse me. I just don't see the point in killing your customers and your employees. How does that make sense? Make it make sense, guys.